Greetings everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. Today we are having Sunday sit down, except I'm standing up and I totally didn't delay the video yesterday just so I could upload this today. But today is a pretty big milestone, so I wanted to do something a little more raw than normal that really works for a Sunday sit down. 10,000 people. Wow. That's a number. That is a really big number. If you would have told me 3 years ago that enough people to fill up a medium-sized stadium would be interested in watching me poorly flip things made out of aluminum, titanium, and steel, I wouldn't have believed you. In fact, I would have told you that I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I always tell this story on stream, but back in 2020 and 2021, I only ever wanted to be the side character. That's back when Ty used to stream pretty consistently to a not massive, but consistent viewer base and people who really liked him. And I just streamed along the side, you know? It wasn't meant to be anything crazy. Got like 5 viewers and I enjoyed it. It was just a fun little time. But I remember telling my friend and someone who you know, Farbos, my mod, that being a YouTuber in any sort of sense with a large audience is something that I never want to do. I was never built to be in a public spotlight. I was never built to have a public image to maintain or anything like that. And granted, I'm being very serious about in the grand scheme of YouTube, very small amount of viewers, but in a hobby that is this small, it's a bit different. Our biggest creators are at 100, 200,000 subscribers, which again, in the grand scheme of YouTube, is not that much. But in the context of this community, everyone knows Will Hirsch. Everyone knows Bala Song Flipping. Everyone knows Artsy. It's a different ballgame when it comes to a smaller niche community like this. So to be anywhere near all of the talented people who make videos, Contraption Collection, Den, Will and Brandon, Squid Industries, and that's just the people that I can think of off the top of my head. There's so many more, is just insane. I wasn't built for it, but here we are, and I wanted to take the time that I never really do to say genuinely thank you. I don't really talk about it too much. I don't really go into, the classic YouTuber, thank you so much for this amount of viewers or this amount of whatever. I just kind of do my thing, upload my videos, let it go. But thank you, each and every one of you, for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, whatever. It means a lot. Even if this isn't something that I wanted to do, even if this isn't something that I think I can be doing forever, I really don't think my mindset and my mental game is equipped to last long term with a lot of people who watch me on a social media platform. I am extremely grateful to be in a position where so many people value opinions that I have, or want to see me talk about a knife that they like, or have makers, send me stuff so that I can get it in front of people's eyes. I mean, that's the main goal. Sure, I'll talk about my opinions along the way, but show these to you guys go buy them. It's a win-win all around. It's really crazy to be in that position, and in the position where I'm actively talking to and collaborating with the people that got me into the community in the first place. People like Will, Brandon, Den, and people that I've met along the way. Diceco, Ted, again, Will and Brandon, I'm not going to be able to list off everyone, but no, Pyro, how could I forget you, Pyro? I'm not going to be able to list off everyone, but you get the sentiment. It's just genuinely crazy. I thought Blade Bias was going to cap out once it passed my main channel. Back when Ty and I started this as our second channel, and this still technically is my second channel, I never imagined it would get much bigger than my audience, because at the time I had like 3K subs. I think Ty had like 2.5 or something like that. So I really didn't think this would go beyond 2.5, maybe 3.5, but it would plateau there. In fact, Ty and I genuinely had a conversation, I think, about at one point how the 3K giveaway or whatever the Vulp giveaway was going to be like the last major milestone that we hit for a long time. So it's crazy. I wouldn't be doing any of this without the people who watched all the way in the beginning, back when this was just a podcast channel, back when this was just me and Ty uploading whenever we wanted. Now it's me trying to stick to a schedule of every other day. It's crazy. And of course, a huge thank you to Ty for helping me build the channel. And while he, probably won't return in any form on the channel, you never know, but he was still a huge part in building it. And so were you guys. So I genuinely just wanted to say thank you and talk about how wild it is to me that this is still going. It's crazy. I really wasn't, like I mentioned before, built to be in a position that I am right now, because I never wanted to be the main spotlight. I always wanted to be the side character, the character that people would be like, oh yeah, he's a character that shows up on Ty's streams sometimes, or whatever. I guess kind of like Farbos is in the Balisong community. Farbos is far more than just a mod to me, but to you guys, he's the goofy guy who shows up during the Bally Awards or makes an April Fool's video for Blade Bias once in a while. I guess that was always the role I wanted to fill. Not actually sit down and be the one making the content that people watch. I struggled for a long, long time thinking that I deserved anything that I had. The first time that I got sent a product, the Zippy Cycloid, that was wild. And then getting offers from people like Grant to send me stuff just because he wanted to was something that I was never really able to accept, but I had to anyway because he found my address and he put that thing in my mailbox. So I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. This is probably the most real we'll ever get on Blade. No, not ever, but probably the most real Blade Bias will be talking about things, behind the scenes, because I try to just keep it to Balisongs on here. That's all that matters. That's all that you guys are here for. You're not here to hear me complain about my opinions on this, that, or the third. You're here to hear me talk about the BB Barfly. And while I do kind of talk about school every once in a while, I kind of have to when it got as busy as it did at the end of last semester. Which, I guess for the rest of this week, Sunday sit down. Not so happy to be back at school. It's actually insane, the difference in my mental from break to school. How over break I had the motivation to put together an entire award show, upload consistently on Blade Bias, release the Blade Show video finally, fix my computer, stuff like that. And now I can barely get the motivation together to write like a script for a possible Slift T review or something like that. It's wild. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So, yeah, I never say it often, and I apologize for that, but thank you guys for watching. Thanks for putting me in a situation where people want to send me stuff and I can have such a massive Balisong collection that goes beyond just the 3 things that I owned way back when I started this. Gosh, I seriously can't believe you guys still care to listen to me after all this time. Especially as I've kind of lost the spark for video creation on my main channel, I was watching the old Will Hirsch videos back in the day, and even my own videos a few weeks ago, or over the course of the past few weeks, I should say. And it was crazy to me how much more I felt like I was enjoying doing it back then. Nowadays, it's just me opening a box and saying this doesn't flip to my preferences and then shitting on it for that or whatever, and it just feels wrong. I need to get back to a point where I can just be excited about the Balisong community, because I am genuinely excited about the Balisong community, but I feel like that's been lost in my videos lately, so I'll try and get back to that. But, you know, beyond this, we'll see how far it goes. I don't know. 10,000 people is already bigger than I ever thought I would get to, regardless of what people would say about, oh, your content's quality enough to get there. It's not about whether I thought I could get there or not. It's whether I wanted to get there or not. Oh boy. But we'll see how far it goes. So, one last time, thank you all for watching, interacting, all of that. I genuinely do appreciate it, even though a lot of the times it seems like I might not. I wake up every day and I think, damn, I am someone in the ballad community that people know of. That's really, really crazy. And humbling and pretty wild. And now I'm watching as my drive back up has failed for the third time. So I might have to completely reinstall all the stuff that I installed over the course of this week when my new laptop drive arrives tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. But yep, ramble video. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. But there is a lot going through my head right now. So hopefully that little stream of consciousness was enjoyable to listen to or gave you some window into what was going on. But I'm here to stay, man. I will keep bringing you guys cool stuff to check out in the future and hopefully get back to a point where I can make main channel videos that make people excited to be in the balisong hobby rather than just me strapping a camera to my head and talking about the Nibali's wing for 10 minutes straight. Which this video will be coming. I have lots of opinions. Stay tuned for that. So, thanks. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Later.